appointments have increased by 90%. Without me doing too much promotions. Okay. It's now with WedGen, I don't have to worry about that. It's automatically happening. We've had an increase from, before we came on to WedGen of 90%, increase in appointments. First started with WedGen, we had a reach all the way into the city, which is way too far.
So we have Debbie on the call from New Jersey. So Debbie, could you tell viewers a little bit about your business and your background? Thanks.
I'm Debbie, okay, and I own a shop up in Sussex County, New Jersey, okay, sell and sell bridal. And I met Ronan a year ago, okay, listened to what he had to say. We were struggling with trying to get appointments by just doing Instagram ads, and he had our answer. We've been in business since 2002.
So if you fast forward to today, Debbie, and we've been working with each other for just, I think, over a year now. And
Right.
What's the biggest results you've seen so far?
Our appointments have increased by 90%. Without me doing too much promotions. Okay. Prior to this, I was Instagramming every morning, at home, anything I could get my hands on just to, get our name out there. Okay. It's now with WedGen, I don't have to worry about that. It's automatically happening. We've had an increase from, before we came on to WedGen of 90%. Increase in appointments.
Wow. And what do you like about the system, Debbie? That's great to get that feedback. It's amazing. But what do you think has helped to get that increase?
Well, they're doing a lot of the work for us. They're doing the pre-qualifications, they're able to book an appointment we have Bridal Live, and they're able to book appointments for us. We do a follow-up, okay, where they get on-hands talk with us virtually the week of their appointment. So we get a little bit, we're on-hands, with our clients. So we like to, not just have them booked and then just go from there. We actually talk to them. So when we first started with WedGen, we had a reach all the way into the city, which is way too far. We had and the nice part of WedGen and Ronan, he could, saw what was going on. They were booking appointments and then realizing how far we were and canceling. So he was very accommodating to find our sweet spot, down the road. So we're in a sweet spot that I'm pulling enough, densely populated parts of New Jersey. I'm in a dense, I guess. No, I'm in a very rural part of New Jersey. So we don't have pull that the other, as you get closer to the city. So that has helped because we weren't reaching, even though I did Instagram ads in that area, I didn't have the pull that he's gotten for me.
That's great that you brought that up, Debbie, because I remember that now. Because we were getting some of the New Jersey, I suppose the city brides, sorry,
Yeah.
And I suppose your target, your ideal customer or bride would have been kind of more local to your area.
Mm-hmm.
So it did take us a bit of testing to get that right, and to optimize for that, and we had to remove those urban locations. So I think it did cut down on appointments. So we were getting maybe above 40 appointments a month with that, but again, a lot were cancelling because of the distance. And then when we tighten that up to to have it more local, you're getting around, I think, 20 or 30 appointments a month now. So it's a little bit lower, but I think the quality is better and the fit is better as well. Would that be true?
That's absolutely true. We were averaging about 35 appointments a month, which is I'm a smaller store, so it is, it is smaller numbers, but it's enough numbers that I can survive. I don't know if I would be able to keep up what I was trying to do. We've been in business a while, so since 2002, it's 20 some years. It just it becomes you get older. It's how many things can you, as a small store owner, do on your own? You definitely need somebody like WedGen. So
Thanks. I absolutely appreciate that. And it's very good of you to say that as well, Debbie. So do you feel the system brings in brides, for the most part, who are serious about buying?
absolutely, yes, yes. And the good part of it, because we've been around now for a while, always referrals are always been a top thing. I don't care what anybody says. When you get a referral from a bride that's happy and she's from a distance, we're getting referrals from that distance. So it's building. That's, I definitely see it building, a different, than just the local 20 miles around us. They're coming further, and they're willing to come that far. And I would think that they might be a little bit leery about coming back to do alterations, and they're not. So, I just think it's, it's, if you're considering it, just, I was hesitant, with cost and things like that, but it does pay. If you stick with it, it does pay. You bite the bullet for a while, but it definitely, in the long run, pays for you. Thanks.
I appreciate that, thanks. So what would you say to like another store owner, maybe who is in a similar position to you, where, they could benefit from this, and equally we give them a free trial to try and, make it more accessible for them? What would you say to maybe a shop owner like that?
Give it a try, because there's no way on your own, okay, or even with a qualified influencer or whatever they're called now. You're not going to get the full, we didn't do a lot of, ads. I did promote my booth. We now are doing ads, and I just think think about it, and give it a try, because that's what I did. And, and stick with it for a bit. If you're struggling with it, then it's maybe not your, but I pretty much can guarantee that you're going to see an increase and you're going to be able to afford it. So
thanks very much, Debbie. I really appreciate that. Look, we look forward to continue working with you and, booking appointments, and your feedback is really valuable. So thanks very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.